Hello, my name is Alex Cameron,
My name's Roy Molloy.
and we're a musical duo from Australia.
I'm going to start off with a bunch of questions that have been prepared by someone you know.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you who.
Okay.
And midway, you might figure out that you do know who they're from.
Okay.
Some are personal in nature, so have fun.
All right.
Where are you now in your career versus, say, a year ago? How have your interests or ambitions changed at all?
My ambitions haven't changed at all. My ambition is to work consistently and find a way to make a living.
My ambitions have sort of grown marginally. I've got a sense of hope now, which I'm trying to stamp out of myself.
Who would you most like to collaborate with?
I suppose I'd like to continue to collaborate with the crew.
The people we're working with right now are it's pretty. The energy's pretty hot. So I think that's a well that we should keep, diving further into.
Crew strong.
What's your favorite T-shirt?
I bought a T-shirt for my girlfriend that just has an apple pie recipe on it.
I got this shirt that says I heart München, and I don't actually like Munich as a city. I think it's a crummy place, but I like the way the shirt looks. It sits on me right now, and I wear it to death.
What's your best medicine?
It's like a light peppering of. It's a combination. It's alcohol, but when I'm drinking the alcohol, I'm washing down Lexapro.
I smoke marijuana and I drink coffee prolifically during the day. I'll drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee. Keep me sharp, keep me focused.
Do you have a Yashica camera?
Yeah, I do. It's a 35mm point and shoot. I think it's in Sydney though.
I don't own any cameras.
You tell stories with your music. Do you ever think visually when you write? How closely do your songs tie in with cinema?
Yeah, I think very much about films and photography before I'm writing a song. I often write to photographs that friends have taken or I've taken myself. I have a friend. His name's McLean Stevenson. He's a photographer from Australia, and my initial writing process was to have him either take photos of myself or to use something from his books, and start the process there.
Why do you hate LA?
Because I think if I lived here, I would die.
I don't mind LA. I like LA. But I guess the question wasn't directed at me.
Mum or dad?
Mom.
Yeah, Dad would understand.
Has anyone ever said that you and Roy remind them of Tenacious D?
Well, one person has said that, and I suspect... No, one person hadn't said that, actually. One person said they were warning me not to become Tenacious D. That in order to do that, just to stay on the path we're going, they didn't want us to become comedy. And I suspect that same person is asking us these questions.
That being said, people say we remind them of fucking any duo under the sun. People get reminded of shit easily.
Do you like period sex, like when girls have their period and you're having sex with them?
I am not against it. No, I don't mind. It's not something that I factor in to whether or not I'm going to be turned on by someone. If they're bleeding, then that's like, it's not on my mind.
I don't consider myself in any position to turn down sex.
Mediterranean vixen or English rose?
English rose. with a little bit of Middle Eastern.
I'll take that. Yeah, I let's keep it. Let's mix it up. Mediterranean. Sounds lovely.
Girls in dresses or girls in jeans?
I like taking off the jeans of a woman.
Damn, you're asking all these questions. It's just much of a muchness, It'd be nice to feel like if they give me an X. I used to have this dream when I was a kid where there was a Nintendo 64 and a PlayStation, and I could choose, but it wasn't a real dream. Dresses.
Would you like to die old and unsuccessful or young and on fire?
I don't think I want to. I don't really want to die until I'm about 75.
I'm 100% prepared for old age. I'm sort of craving it.
What do you do when you feel anxiety coming on? How do you soothe?
It's been a thing that I think about a lot, and it's a constant I guess challenge, because anxiety isn't one thing. Anxiety is a beast that, if you have real anxiety, it's not just day-to-day stuff. It manages to transform itself, so it'll always find a way to make you feel uneasy, and in that respect, you kind of always have to be ducking and diving. One thing that I constantly return to lately, for the past year, has been like sex. Sex reminds me of being alive, and it means I get to trust my vessel. I'm not talking about like constant masturbation or like searching out sex at every opportunity, but just having that like trustful person that I can go back to and know that I can activate like the most core human function, and that kind of really helps me. Really reduces my anxiety, because it's a constant checking.
I don't get such bad anxiety. I'm not a very anxious person, but I tend to email my business associates just long lists of concerns, and then people answer them, and that's normally it for me.
Beyonce or Katy Perry?
Katy Perry.
I'll take Perry.
Although, man, Beyonce's on fire, and you got to respect that, because she's really in charge of something right now. I think I just prefer I prefer the melodies of Katy Perry. The ideas and the power of Beyonce combined with the melodies of Katy Perry would be an interesting project. But if I was going to go through the back catalogue, I would put on Katy Perry music. Don't have much interest in what she stands for though.
You were recently seen cavorting with Jemima Kirke in the Daily Mail. Are you afraid she might be using you to climb the ladder of celebrity?
There's something to be said about climbing down the ladder, that's for sure. That's all I'll say.
Linen sheets or cotton sheets?
Linen under, cotton above.
I've been asked that before. I guess cotton.
Do you think it's a huge turn off when girls have gross toes? Like a big toe that looks like Shrek, or a baby toe that looks like an engorged maggot?
I said my girl's little toe. I did say that it looked like Shrek, and I did say that her little toe looked like a witchetty grub, which is something in Australia you can find behind the bark of trees and eat. No, I'm not grossed out by women's feet at all. I mean, my feet are like slabs of like fish flapping around on a dock. So I'm not too picky when it comes to feet.
Yeah, I got horrible feet too. I'm in no position to criticize someone else's feet. No, it doesn't turn me off at all.
Okay, so that's the end of that part.
That had to be Jemima asking those questions. There's no doubt about it.
They were fucking great questions. They were some real questions.
Okay, now let's go.
When did you start making music?
Probably when I was about 15. I played instruments before that, but I had a little keyboard, and I started recording ideas. And everyone was making much cooler music than me in high school. They had figured out weirder chords, and I was still playing in like all major stuff. And I thought I was really lame, but then I still only write in mostly. I write in really basic major keys, so I'm actually kind of The only thing I'm disappointed in is that I didn't start cutting records when I was younger.
I guess I was 17. There was a piano room in our school that I could get into.
Who did you listen to growing up?
One that always returns is Cat Stevens. Another one is Nina Simone. My dad used to listen to a lot of Nina Simone in the car when we were kids, when I was a kid. And my mum really liked George Harrison.
My mum, a lot of Rod Stewart. For my dad, Talking Heads, and then a lot of Australian music. AC/DC, rock and roll, things like that.
And how did you decide that this is what you wanted to do?
Kind of just felt like I had the tolerance for it. I felt like I had the capacity to do it, I guess, emotionally. And I decided that I tried a lot of other types of work, and for whatever reason, my constitution was pushing me towards this. And I had the opportunity to do it. I live in Australia. It's like a really privileged place, so I guess I had the time and energy to focus on writing.
Once I realised that we could support ourselves, that the business could pay for us to at least be alive through the next week, it became, the idea of working for someone else became ridiculous. The idea of lining someone else's pockets became very unpalatable for me.
What life event has impacted you the most, and what role has that played in your music?
I suppose just like knowing my mom and being around her a lot. It's probably the most influential thing on my life.
My folks been a big positive influence, but it was a matter of years there where I worked for other people. Going to what I said before, just years and years, just really busting my, sweating my ass out for other people. Put in my mind that maybe it'd be better to do something for ourselves.
And how does it feel to have just released your second album?
It feels like there's work to be done, which is a good feeling.
Yeah, heads down, eyes on the horizon.
For A Stranger Kiss, not only is the song excellent, Angel Olsen is excellent, and then you have the video that Jemima directed and co-stars, which is fantastic. How did all this come together?
I guess it's just you try and do good, and you try to be a good person, and you hope that other good people start to orbit around you. And through a long period of time, trying to be the right person to work with myself, and working with the wrong people, and then I guess through the proliferation of goodwill, we managed to find the right people that wanted to be involved. Strong, massively powerful and talented women who were I guess gracious enough to come on board and put their effort into making what is definitely the single most powerful thing that we've done as a duo.
Agreed. Been very lucky to have incredibly talented women involved. The approach for us has always been that you get the right person for the job. If it isn't you, go find who it is. And if they come to you, then that's that's wonderful. You've got to take advantage of it.
How did your signature dance come about?
I learned that from my mom from dancing at weddings. And my mom sort of does a twist. It's like a twist, but then she sort of just does it in sort of like sort of gracefully and slowly. She's not really too stressed. She does it on her own tempo, I kind of just got it from her and made it mine a little bit.
Heather's a very natural dancer.
Tell me about your collaboration with Kieran J. Callanan on his song Big Enough.
That was going to be a folk song, a country song, and we were writing it, and it just was the message was exactly what we wanted, but the sound wasn't. And then we walked into like a liquor store, and they were playing this like big anthemic EDM music, and we just decided to produce that instead. And we worked with a guy called Aaron Couples, who's a producer, New Zealand. I think he might be, he's Australian, but he's from down that way, and yeah, he just sort of used his know-how to make this incredible sort of dance anthem. It was special. Me and Kieran kind of like, we always figured that people compare us to each other, but we always talk about how we're like polar opposites. So that song was about like opposites competing for the same space and embracing togetherness.
What are your interests and passions outside of music?
Photography and trying to be like a decent person to be around, and trying to be better at I suppose just including people in things, you know. But photography, and I like films a lot, and I like reading, and also I really like watching sport.
In the van, most of our conversation centers around sport and movies, I guess.
So what are your favorite books, film, and music right now?
Okay, I just read some John Fonte. My girlfriend gave me a John Fonte book, which is really special, called Ask the Dust. A film I saw recently that I really liked was, is it called Wild Tales? It was produced by Almodovar. I think it's like an Argentinian series of short films. And what did you say, music?
Mm-hmm.
Music. I've just been listening to like a lot of like Willie Nelson, and I guess Willie Nelson.
What I read a couple of weeks ago, Laughter in the Dark by Nabokov. That really got me. I enjoyed that one a lot. Movie-wise, we watched it's still airing on television. We watched the Jurassic Park trilogy on Spike TV. It's wonderful blockbusters. That first one's a start through finish thrill ride. I like their ability to hold your attention. Music. I don't know what I'm listening to at the moment. There's a young guy, Jonathan something, that came across my desk the other day via our guitarist. Thought that was pretty sleek.
And what's next?
Just touring and trying to write more, and it's much of the same, but just different levels. Just trying to work.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff coming out. Clips, ton of writing, ton of work, a lot of shows.